Hello, and welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, or crazy rescue dogs and rescue cat who likes to craft in her spare time. If you're new here, welcome to the crazy. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my serotonin, my self-esteem. I could use both. And if you're a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for, so grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. Woo! It is 9:30 basically on Sunday the 26th. I am one tired puppy. I went to see the pain management doctor last week in tears. I could hardly stand on my leg, on my hip. They did the They were able to squeeze me in and do the injections. My right hip now, pain-free on my right side. Left side, I am still very much struggling with. Part of that, though, is because Saturday, we got in the car and drove from Lake Orion, Michigan, so north of Detroit, to Huber Heights, Ohio, to go to Buc-ee's. Y'all, this is my take. First of all, way too many people. You couldn't move. It was insane. But this is my view on Buc-ee's. If the home decor area of Hobby Lobby and Walmart went in a back alley with Tractor Supply and they all had a baby, Buc-ee's is what you would end up with. Yeah. Crazy. Now that said, okay, everybody raves about their food. We got pulled pork and mac and cheese because that was one of the few things we could get to and grab, right? Because it was so crowded. Here's my thing. I'm very snobby about my mac and cheese. I don't like the Velveeta mac and cheese. No. And that's what it was. It was like the Velveeta mac and cheese. I don't mind Velveeta in my mac and cheese. It just can't be the only cheese. The pulled pork was very good. But what we fell in love with, and this is the one reason for sure I will go back. Now, am I going to drive special just for them? Probably not. But if I'm in the area, am I going to get a dozen or 4 dozen? Yes. They're called a paddle tail. I had asked each of the kids what they wanted. William wanted beaver nuggets and some seasoning something different that he couldn't get at an average store, right? So we got those. But really, Gordon Food Services sells a product that is almost identical to the Buc-ee beaver nugget. So to me, I was like, why am I buying this here? In being trampled by people, right? But the paddle tail is like a phyllo dough cinnamon roll. And it is nothing short of pure heaven to me. And so, yeah. So, while there, Kevin bought me a duck for my Jeep. He's so cute. I now realize that I must start collecting, I put my little critters, like when people give me these little teeny tiny animals, like what do I do with these? Like, I'm going to lose them, but I have a couple ducks and I think I have one more. I think I'm missing my flamingo one. My yellow one even says something on it. I don't know. But I know that Lowe's and Home Depot also make a little bucket. Now, I think the benefit to the Lowe's and the Home Depot ones is they come with lids. But I don't know. Now I'm starting to think maybe I need to collect mini buckets. Somebody tell me I don't need to collect mini buckets because really I don't need to collect mini. What the fuck am I going to do with mini buckets? It was cute and I got swallowed up in the, oh my god, we have to have everything. And so we bought one for each of the kids. I have one, and we got one for Kevin's son and stuff. And yeah. I also, because apparently I needed this and I didn't realize I needed this, I now have a Buc-ee's cup. It is much like my emotional support Yeti. I also got sleeve shorts and a t-shirt or a tank top and a scrunchie for a store that I like. Look, I don't even buy Walmart gear. Do they make Walmart gear? I don't know. Anyways, it was fun. It was interesting. I'm gonna sound real Yankee. Yeah, I don't get the hype. And again, part of that could have been the crowds and me just being totally on sensory overload. By the time we got down there, I was already in a lot of pain. And then to have to walk around and stand and stuff on my hip, I was near tears getting back in the car. And I am sure that that had a lot to do with my overall perception of it. So that said, in order to be fair to Buc-ee's and to my Buc-ee loving friends, I have said that I will commit to going at least one more time, but it will not be until some of the hype dies down, or it's at a totally different one where like they're used to Buc-ee's being there, right? So now on the way down there, I was very excited because I finally was in the area where I could stop at Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio. Usually I'm there and they're closed. I miss it like just by a little bit and stuff. And so I went in there. What a lovely store. And what a lovely group of people there. I felt very welcomed. They were having their Saturday morning stitch in group. Everybody was so nice. I certainly will make a point to go back. I will be surprised. I will say this. I was a little surprised, like we were driving to it. I was like, am I going in the right area? Like, the answer is yes, I was. It's right next to a railroad track, so I was like, it's kind of like, are we on the right side of the railroad tracks or are we on the wrong side of the tracks? I don't know. I was also expecting it to be much bigger. That said, it's a beautiful space. They have so much lovely fabric. And things were laid out very, very nicely. And they have a wide selection. So would I recommend it? Absolutely. So what did I get? Because, of course, I had to buy stuff. So, look at that. Okay. I got asked if I would make the goat. Or make the sheep, right? Okay, we all know. I was like, sure, I'll stitch him. He actually was really, really cute in the store model. And he kind of made me laugh. But then I found I'm going to have to stitch the little piggy because he just makes me smile. He has made me smile since I first saw him. And then I saw Janet Jabber stitched it and then stitched like the little spider web in the corner for like Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. I have loved him ever since. And then all of the sass. All of the sass. One of the other funny things is one of Noel's, my office manager, one of the things he wants in life is enough land where he can own little baby goats, like the little jumping goats. So he might get Tilly goat as well. So then I went through and I was like, okay, let me grab the fancy flosses that they call, because a lot of it's DMC, which I probably have, probably don't, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine anymore. So I did grab all of the fancy floss as well, except for one of them they didn't have. They didn't have Weeks Dye Works Indian Summer is the only one that they didn't have. They were out of. So I'll have to order that somehow. Probably from 123 Stitch, because we all know that's where Kelly shops a lot for stuff like that. I got 2 rum raisins because it was on 2 of the patterns and I just didn't want to be short. So that is the fancy flosses for all 3 of them. I did not pick up fabric yet for them. So we'll see. Maybe I could pull out my first. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it on the 32 count Atomic Ranch fabric of the month from January. Which is like a parchment-y color. I might have to color check it for him. But otherwise, I think it'll work well for the rest of them. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Because guess what? I'm not going to stitch this week. Any of these. Okay, so then I also grabbed the restaurant from Big City Christmas. I love these. And this is important. And then I had been kicking around this pattern, and I believe it's actually retired. And I've been kicking it around with, you know, I have the Santa holding the three angels, and then I have the woman with the two kids at the Christmas tree. But I've actually really loved him. And so I did grab that because I was like, you know what, I better grab it when I see it, and it's not like $20,000 bazillion dollars and stuff. And so yeah. And then I have eyed this, and they had a model stitch, and for once, Karen Kluba's pictures, this is a pretty good picture for her. But stitched in the called for, framed right behind the register. Absolutely. And ironically, it's stitched on Heroic by Picture This Plus, one of my favorite fabrics, honestly. What I realize is everybody has that one favorite, right? If you watch Michelle McGraw, made by Michelle McGraw, she hoards it, and I cannot think of the name of it, but she's doing like all of her family's Christmas stockings on it, and a lot of the girls in my stitchy group on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like the fabric malachite. I don't have any malachite, so I feel like Heroic by Picture This Plus is my like that fabric for me. So I also got this pin. I got Bella a pin too. I'm gonna probably turn it into a needle minder. I don't usually use needle minders unless it's on my needle point. I don't know, but how can I not use a dope? And then because I need to stitch, I designed a picture, a woman, a fancy lady, and she's holding the folded flag, you know, that they hand to a widow of a veteran or a widower of a veteran. And I needed a piece to be able to stitch it. And it came in on 1, 2, 3 stitch, and I went to order it, and it was already sold out. So I did pay a little bit more buying it in person, but whatever, I have it, so I can start that. So that was all of my haul, which is quite substantial as far as I'm concerned. Oh, and I bought Bella a Pikachu pin, and stuff. So what did I work on this week? A lot of work. I'd actually taken my needlepoint with me to work on in the car, and then Kevin moved my needlepoint, and I lost my needle, so then I couldn't work on it anymore. And then he was, it's fine. I did get quite a bit done though. So I have the white all done. I finished all of Lafayette is done. So we're now working up, and you can see the bricks on American. I have to order the hot dog button. I didn't want to stitch it. I wanted the actual 3D little hot dog button. I don't like how this Y is with the white. I don't know how to... It doesn't... I mean... It is what it is, right? It's the stitches. It's not me. That's the way it's stitched. That's the way it's charted. So, I mean, I guess it's the same thing with the little stars down here. They kind of look like blobs. Like you're playing Space Invaders, the old Atari Space Invaders game. That's what they remind me of more than stars. So anyways, we're just going to keep plugging away on the red bricks, and hopefully knock them out sometime soon. Okay. So then I have been working, I am now at 46% done because I did color in the white that goes on the blue squares. I'm not going to stitch it, so I colored it in. So that's why we made such a huge jump on Quaker Flag. Quaker Flag is stitched on 18 count Atomic Ranch in the colorway Sky. It is one of my other pieces of fabric colors that I tend to stitch a lot on is Sky or Clouds by Atomic Ranch. I absolutely love it. So, I was one off on part of this line. I ripped it out last night to kind of unwind when I got home. I ripped it out and fixed it. It was an easy fix. And then got some more of the blue done. But we're chugging along. I mean, by the end of this coming week, I should easily be at 50%. And that's amazing. We're on track to actually be done with it sooner than Labor Day. I'm not going to worry about it. Look, it happens when it happens, right? As long as it's done by Labor Day. Because we got goals. Okay. Oh, the other thing we got at Buc-ee's, did I tell you guys? I think I did. Well, I started to record this, and I'm worried that I didn't tell you. So we went to Buc-ee's. We got to, I don't know. Just tell me I don't need to collect little buckets from different stores, because you know Lowe's and Home Depot make these little buckets too, and those come with lids, and they make the little teeny tiny like Sterilite totes too. Tell me I don't need a bunch of like little I don't need this. I'm getting rid of stuff. I'm actually baking more sourdough bread, and I'm going to try making bagels. They're proofing right now. I was going to bake them tonight, but you have to boil your bagel first. Did you know that? You boil it in baking soda and water, and then you bake them. And it's already almost 10 o'clock at night, so I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. I will do that tomorrow. Okay, so I also worked on Pandemic by Long Dog. We, on this one, are also nearing 50% of the tan. So what I decided was to go back up here to page 6, I think it is. I fixed my deer and then have been working slowly down. Do I think I'm going to keep working all the way down to the bottom? I don't know. Part of me would like to then move over to page 7 and work 7 and then whatever this is and work on the diagonal with pages. I don't know. Atlas thinks that I'm almost, as soon as we finish Lafayette, Cody Island, that this will be my next carry around with me project, as long as I'm only carrying the blue, and that it's one of those, because I don't have to think about it, right? And if I carry the floss drop blue, the blue is already cut, so I don't even have to carry scissors with me, and I don't have to carry a pattern, and I don't have to carry, which is bloody brilliant when you really think about it. Okay, so for Survivor this last week, I need to put in like 300 stitches into my menorah, which is fine. I just need to do it. I thought I'd do it today. I ended up taking a nap instead. Am I okay with it? Yes. Because clearly I needed a nap. So, that's my haul. That's my stitching. Like I said, this next week, I have some stuff on my calendar. I have to get ready for a trial next week. Maybe Bean wants to start the baking soda water so we can boil the bagels. Which sounds really weird. But apparently I think you do that with pretzels too. You have to boil the pretzels. Does that make sense to somebody? Why are we boiling dough? I don't understand. Atlas has still been a godsend as far as keeping track of things. Maybe you don't boil bagels, pretzels. Do you boil?
We might try more weird shit tonight. From Bucky's.
So you... Okay, it's 1 tablespoon of baking soda to a pot of gently boiling water. How big is your pot? Like, these are the questions. This is the problem, see? Or you can put sugar or honey. I've always heard baking soda.
Sugar and honey seems even weirder.
Let's see. Now, do we boil pretzels? Okay, so while the pretzels are just dipped, not fully boiled, where your bagels you actually have to simmer in the water.
I have to add more water.
Who knew these things? I did not, but apparently Atlas does. So yeah, so we're just kind of plugging along. Okay. Trying to think what other things. So we did Bucky's, we did that, we've had trials. Things have been a little crazy here. William is loving his new job at Whole Foods. I am loving the discount on foods. I'm not gonna lie. I handed him $30. He basically spent $30 the other day. Came home with shrimp and salmon and trout and pork belly and a bunch of vegetables and stuff. So not even gonna lie, that is a heck of a deal. And then he cooked tonight. He cooked stir fry and stuff. So that was really cool. He cooked yesterday too, but I wasn't home, so I'm going to assume it was good. Nobody died. You know, high standards here. As long as you don't die, just eat it. I'm going to go back and watch this, and if I did not give you my full recap of the Bucky's experience and my take on Bucky's, I will let you know. Again, basically, I feel like if the home decor section of Hobby Lobby and Walmart went in a back alley with Tractor Supply and they all had a baby, it would be Bucky's. And the paddle tails are amazing.
Got the water started.
Oh.
Would you like to try?
Want to try some ice cream with me? It is
Peanut butter brownie honeycomb.
Van Leeuwen peanut butter brownie honeycomb French ice cream. Well, that doesn't sound decadent. I don't know. It smells good. That's a 10 out of 10. That's a good one. So stay tuned for our review of bagels, homemade bagels, and whether we screwed those up or not. My 2 loaves of bread are proofing, so I'll bake those in the morning. They can keep rising. That's okay. The only other thing is keep us in your prayers and thoughts, I guess. We are likely going to put back in place the DNR for Paul. So the one medicine, although we went in today to see Paul, and he's been at an 8 on this med, and he's lowered down to a 4, and he's actually tolerating it. It's one of those where we need him off this med for him to survive, but right now if he can't keep his blood pressure up without it he won't survive either. And so this med is either going to kill him or he dies without it. And so the kids and I had a long talk last night when I got home from Bucky's about what may be the best course of action. And we are going to put in the DNR. And I guess depending on if he's able to come out, maybe the infectious disease doctor was right and getting the infection cleared off. Maybe that is what did the trick, and maybe he can slowly come off this med, and I'm fine with a slow wean if that's what we have to do. I don't know. I feel like I've been in a very cautiously crisis mode without sounding dramatic. Last week we were dealing with some other stuff with a client who's also a dear friend, and CPS got involved in some allegations and sorting through all of that. It's been a lot. It's been rather heavy. We'll take one day at a time. That's all we're doing. So with that said, remember, you are smart and you are beautiful. You are brave and strong. You are loved. You are needed, and you are wanted, and mostly, you matter. So with that, I will talk to you all later, and I will see you Thursday or maybe Wednesday for a week survivor recap. Bye, y'all.